Yo, what is up? Today I want to talk about content saturation and why setting up paid ads and cold acquisition systems is one of the most important things that coaches can do in 2025 and beyond. So, a big shift is happening right now in the market. Paid ads are getting more and more expensive by the day. And not only that, but they're also getting harder to crack because there's just too much competition out there. And that means that a lot of coaches are going to switch over to content and start working more content because they're gonna see like, yo, paid ads is this hard thing. It's like super expensive for me. It's not working, and they're going to feel like this is something that they need to stop doing and start doing more content because obviously that's what everyone else is doing. But the problem here becomes what happens when literally every single coach starts focusing on content. It's gonna be a era of content over saturation and over production. And when there are too many producers and not enough consumers, there are just not enough customers for people to actually sell to. And a lot of content, a lot of your content as a coach was just simply going to go unnoticed. It's going to be harder and harder. You're going to have to provide so much value up front just to get people in. And that's, of course, something that is not bad. Like, of course, we want our systems or business to actually provide a lot of value. And the content system that changes people's lives on the front end is always going to be the ultimate sales process for your actual backend. But again, with especially with the era of AI upon us, like this overproduction effect is just going to be harder and harder to overcome as a coach, and you're going to have to bend over backwards to actually start making people see your content and scale your brand using actually content. And again, I'm never gonna say like don't do content. I think content is absolutely the one of the most important things you can do in your business, but you need to start looking outwards. You need to start thinking outside the box of the content because right now there's a lot of like people that got started in this game. They got sold this idea that content is the only way to prosper. You gotta do this Instagram thing, you gotta do YouTube. Yes, again, that's amazing, but you need to look outwards because, again, there are literal agencies doing fully done for you content with realistic AI versions. Like, you cannot distinguish the content creator from the AI version of them. Like, of course, it's just short form right now because that's the only way they can make it look realistic, but this industry is evolving at rapid fire. It's like 100 miles per hour. And yesterday, you could not do the things you can do today. And it's like just getting really crazy. And what happens when this kind of overproduction of content happens is that a lot people go into a lot of sales processes, and the people who have the best content infrastructure are always going to be top of mind, and they're always going to be the ones that are dominating the game. And those people are more likely than not the people that have like 50,000 per month, 100,000 per month just to invest into like a media team, like 10 to 20 people just constantly pumping out content for them. They speak on one podcast, they get 100, 200 pieces of content out from it. And that means if you're a coach or smaller creator who wants to like make it big and scale your business on social media, you're going like it's gonna be just very hard for you. So what is the solution right now? How do you solve this problem? How do you combat the absolutely massive wave of content overproduction that's going to hit us in 2025 and beyond? The way you do that is by dialing in your systems. That is your acquisition systems, your nurturing systems, your conversion systems, and your ascension process. That means the way you acquire your customers. So, like, that can be content, of course, that's that's one thing they should always be looking at: how do you improve my content, how do you give more to people, how do I improve my front end stuff. But you should also be looking into like, how do I set up a consistent acquisition system where I put $5 in, I make $10 back, and now I have a lead in my business. That's what you should be looking at. So, like, how do I set up a cold paid ads acquisition system? Now, let me not get too into the gray here, but like, let's continue. So next up is, how do I nurture people? How do I nurture people into becoming my customer? How do I give them so much value? How do I blow their mind? How do I get them to consume my content? How do I get them to spend energy with me? How do I get them to buy into my brand? Because when you do that, that's when you achieve the next step of the process, which is going to be the conversion system. So how do I actually convert that traffic? Because getting a bunch of customers into your brand, like low ticket, freebies, getting leads inside your business, that's one thing. But actually converting them, that's another. Like, your goal here should be to get the maximum amount of dollars per lead as possible. And I'm not just talking about like high ticket. I want you to be giving, again, like every single taking I say in these videos is always going to be backed by how they give. So giving is the first part. You give to get. So how do you get the most amount of dollars out per lead as possible? How do you create a product infrastructure that allows you to serve every single tier of customer? And usually the tiers of customers are like the highest one, which is like people that buy like high ticket, your ultra high ticket stuff. Then you got the mid tier, which like some buy high ticket, some buy continuity, some buy like mid ticket programs, and then there's like the lowest tier, which like just small continuities and low ticket products. You should think about how do you extract the maximum amount of dollars per lead as possible, because that's another thing that's happening right now. It's like the pure high ticket model is getting harder and harder to sell. So you should be always looking into like, how do I actually increase the amount of dollars I make per lead in this business? Okay, let's continue. Got a little bit. This is why I don't want to like get into the too much nitty-gritty here, because I can really just spend hours talking about each and every part of this presentation. So we'll just continue. And then Ascension, of course, is like, once you have people in your low ticket program, let's say, we want your Ascension systems to actually be dialed in, so that you take someone from low ticket to mid ticket to high ticket, or just straight to high ticket, whatever. But we just want to get that sales conversation in their head. We want to convert them, send them into that next step of your business. You do that through product, you do that through marketing, email sequences, content, multiple touch points, VSLs, setting up multiple VSLs. Like, there's a whole system. Again, not too nitty-gritty. We can spend hours here. I'm going to try to present more of this information through other videos, but this is just a general picture that you need to understand. So, dialing in every single part of your business like this is going to make you the absolute titan with all of their infrastructure dialed in, because this is going to allow you to become the fortress where you've got solid foundations, and there's like the tides of the market, they're constantly shifting. They cannot affect you as much as they will, let's say, someone who does not, who is purely relying on content or purely relying on cold ads. You need to have all your systems dialed in, so that once you get someone in, you convert them, ascend them, you fulfill for them amazingly, abundantly, you blow their mind. You make them tell every single one of their friends. You have case study systems on the back end to actually convert that into a case study on your website. The more case studies you have, the more money you make. And there's no amount of case studies that is enough. You always need more case studies. Always keep stacking the case studies on your website. And this is going to allow you to instead of going like all the other coaches who are going to be dropping out of the game, giving up on their dreams, losing their businesses, like just falling prey to these massive market shifts that are going to take away so many people's businesses and impact this content overproduction, oversaturation point. You are going to be able to go into this confident with solid foundations, a fortress, an impenetrable fortress, with the waves crashing down on you, and you have no problem with it. You're going to be able to leave that, get out the other side, not only surviving but thriving. You're going to leave with less competitors, with less stress, and just more customers overall, because you survived what was supposed to break you. And we know how that like works. What doesn't break you makes it stronger. But the question then becomes, I want to make these videos practical as possible, so I want to give you like how to actually do that. So the question is, how do you actually build those systems? How do you dial in acquisition? How do you dial in nurturing? How do you dial in conversion and ascension? And how do you set your business up to be a well-oiled machine that consistently pumps out, takes cold traffic and pumps it out and turns it into high-ticket, loyal customers, raving fans? How do you do that? The answer is systems. And like the specific systems on how to do that, there's like a million ways of doing every single one of these. But again, I can literally sit here for 7 hours and talk about this stuff. So this is beyond the scope of this video. And if you need help with any of these systems, you can just book a consultation. They're free right now in the description. I'm not sure how long they're going to be free. So we can talk about your business and see if I could be of help potentially, and show you like some systems of how you want to dial in every single one of these. So let's continue the video. You want to set up a system for acquiring cold traffic, nurturing them, converting them, and sending them into your high-ticket program. So I want to like give you something that is a bit actionable right now. So I want you to think about, how do I survive this content oversaturation in 2025 that's coming? The way you do that is paid ads. While everyone zigs, you zag. People are going to stop doing paid ads right now. They're afraid. They're afraid of running their cold ads because it's hard. People are very, very skeptical. You need to do all this conversion. You got to do all this stuff. People like doing content because it's easy. Paid ads, it's a bit harder, but it's a lot more rewarding. So what I would suggest you do is start asking yourself, how can I set up a paid ads cold traffic acquisition funnel that'll systematically take cold traffic, convert them, and ascend them to becoming a high-ticket client of mine? And how can I make it at least 1.5 to 2x ROAS? Because you don't really need a 7x ROAS funnel, right? You just need 1.5 to 2x, and then you can start testing. Like, once you have something working, just don't touch it and just scale it. Getting it something to 2x, 1.5 to 2x ROAS is enough to grow your business. Set that thing up, keep it pumping. You need people coming in. And once you have that, that's that little vertical line, right? That vertical of customer acquisition, you can start testing it. Just split test it, right? Different things, different ad image, different funnel, different VSL, different VSL opening, whatever. So getting it to this point is the first challenge, and then you can start like looking into it, getting it to 5x, 10x ROAS, whatever. Those massive scaling campaigns. I'll be sharing different ways of doing that on this channel, and how I've done it for my clients, and how we're actively doing it. So you can expect some fun stuff there. But the basic gist of it is, once you have this paid ads consistent funnel, you will not be so reliant on content anymore. You will be able to survive the upcoming content overproduction and oversaturation point, because you'll have a system where you can just pull the dial, as you can see in this image right here. So if you want more customers, you turn the dial. You get a bunch of customers, and then you want to focus on setting up systems for actual fulfillment, systemization, getting yourself out of the business. You can just turn that dial down, fulfill, push it back up. You will no longer be asking yourself, hey, yo, where's the next client coming from? Where's the next sales coming from? You're going to have a consistent system you can turn off and on consistently, whenever you want. This will allow you to survive the upcoming content oversaturation point in 2025, and it will allow you to become the business that not only stands the test of time, but comes out the other end thriving. You're going to be crushing it. So yeah, set up your systems, look into this. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments below. And if you need any help with any of these systems that I mentioned in this video, I would love to talk to you, show you how we did it for our clients and how we could potentially do it for you as well. Okay. Thank you very much for watching, and let me know what you thought about this video. I want to figure out how I can best serve you. Is this video clear? Is the value clear? Do you want more? Do you want less? Do you need shorter videos? Let me know. All of your feedback is valued, because when you give me feedback, I know what I can improve upon and serve you the best I possibly can. Thank you very much. Have a great day.